Introducing Orson from GPTX right now, live from Grand Prairie, Texas. We're at the studio of Junk Guys DFW. Okay, can I do my intro?
Yeah, you can do your intro, sure.
Net. All right, guys. My name is Ricardo. I've been doing junk removal for the last 17 years. I am the owner of junkguysdfw.net. And today we are snowed in. We are definitely snowed in. Right, Orsi?
We are snowed in, bro. The roads are icy.
Icy, like vanilla ice. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to pick up the phone, call you, and see if you want to interview. And you were very hesitant. But then I started thinking, this would be the chance. This would be the time to get at least 20 good banger questions to interview you. Designed to be kind of like help out the new entrepreneur, because you just started junk removal almost a year ago, right?
Almost a year ago, yeah. So my first day actually doing junk removal was back in March. So I went to the junk removal summit, and then the following week is when I started working. Awesome.
So this is going to be your platform chance to kind of introduce you and your business, talk about your website really quick. So like I did my intro, it is your time. You have the floor.
All right, drum roll, please. All right, guys. So my name is Orson from GPTX Junk Removal. That stands for Grand Prairie, Texas Junk Removal. That's the city I'm based out of here in DFW. And I'm super excited to be here. You know, it's been a journey. And you've actually been there for quite a bit of it. So
yes,
you've helped me along the way. You've seen me grow, progress. Fail, succeed, you know, a little bit of everything. But it's very, very possible, and I'm living the junk removal dream right now.
Awesome. So this video, I wanted to do this video. We talked about doing this video a long time ago. I don't know if you remember. You remember that? We talked about it?
Yeah.
That I just said, I'm snowed in. I can't go to work. I can't go check on Fort Worth. I can't go to the headquarters in Dallas. I got to stay home here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got back from the hospital checking on Gregory yesterday because, you know, you saw my video. He got beat up, and I told you a little about that, right?
Yeah, that was rough. And it's so amazing, by the way, what you're doing for the community, you know, letting him sleep in your donation box. It's really cool.
It's a donation box, Orson. Let's not overdo it. I'm not really helping this guy out.
Yeah. It's funny, though. I mean, what better purpose could that box serve? You know,
isn't that crazy?
Out the community. It's so cool. So cool.
Yes. So we talked about doing this, and we're doing it now. And I think this video is going to be engaging to new people that just started junk removal, people that started last week, the week before that, and maybe they've been doing it for less than a year. This is the video, and we're going to get in. We're going to right in.
We're going to get deep into it, into the questions.
I was into you last week.
Always go too far, bro. Always go too far.
Acting like Aaron Hernandez.
Acting like Aaron Hernandez over here, bro.
Right. So let's start off, Orson. By the way, talk about your website really fast. Just talk about your website. Say what your website is right now.
Yeah. So you can find me at www.gptxjunkremoval.com. And you helped me come up with that name, actually. So when I first started, I was following another YouTuber's kind of thing, and I named myself DFW Clutter Busters. So I had the DFW, which was great. That was awesome. Clutter. What's clutter? And then Busters. You know what is that? How is anyone going to find me? It just was not going to work. So with Ricardo's help, you know, I changed it to GP, Grand Prairie, which is where I live, TX, Texas, and then junk removal. When you come up with your website name, you really want to have that keyword there, junk removal.
Awesome. Yep. Thanks, Orson. All right, so let's get on with the first question. These are questions that I made a poll a few weeks ago, and I put them on there. And I didn't really plan on interviewing you, Orson, entirely. These were questions that I wanted to ask somebody, and I put a poll out. And these are the most engaging questions that got the most. These are from Facebook. These were questions that were asked by other junk removal companies, and then you know, they just asked. So, first question is, what is the most unexpected challenge that you had to overcome in the junk removal business, and how you overcame it?
Man, that is a good question. That's packed. Wow. Okay. my biggest challenge in junk removal. You know, I feel like I've always struggled with pricing. You know, pricing, and I think that that's the main thing for everybody is these issues. And something that you helped me notice, actually, I go into these small jobs, like these single item pickups, stuff like that. I was just pricing them way, way too high. And then I was going into these huge clean outs, these hoarder houses, and I was pricing them too low. You know, it was really difficult. And for me, you know, I'm a solopreneur. You know, I do things by myself most of the time, 99%. And that's been a challenge for me, you know, my whole life, really, you know, not just in business. So it was a real big challenge for me, you know, to come to people like you, to other people in the junk removal industry, like Maddie, for example, or Brandon from Lionheart, and ask them, hey, how could you, how would you price this? Like, what do you think I should do? How would this work? Stuff like that. And so learning to kind of work in like that team environment, I think was the biggest challenge I overcame. Learning to ask for help, because junk removal, you know, we do this by ourselves, but knowing to ask for help and then having the right people, you know, making sure that the people you're asking for are actually going to guide you the right direction. That was a real big challenge. And thankfully, you know, every day it's getting better.
Good question, man. That was a good answer. Good question. That was a banger of a question. That sounds
that
like
was a banger, bro.
Yeah,
that was
like I got on Gemini and said, "Give me banger questions, ask Orson," which I didn't. I just
of course. No, I don't think you would. You would never do that. You'd probably use like Chat GPT or something.
Yeah, something totally
Gemini. Yeah.
Orson, in a world of great instant gratification, how do you build your long-term customer relationships in the junk removal industry?
Yeah, so that's another great question. That's another banger. So
I'm knocking them out of the park,
right? So for any of you not familiar, junk removal, we're taking things out of people's homes or businesses, right? So we're snowed in today. You know, people are home and they're staring at that ugly couch in their garage or that ugly.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt you. I probably know one person that is working right now, and we'll probably make a Facebook post out of it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, every day. It's going to be a long post too.
Yeah, it's going to be a long post that I'll probably copy and paste anyway. So go ahead.
Yeah. So people are staring at that couch and stuff like that. They want it gone. They want it gone right now. Obviously, they can't get it now. So tomorrow morning, they want that thing out of there. And that's the way junk removal usually works. It's the same day or next day, very quick. They never see you again, right? So one thing I've been very blessed about in this business is a lot of my clients are repeat customers. You know, I go in there, and by getting to shadow you, you know, and working with you, I learned how to talk with them, how to be friendly with them. And, you know, we kind of become like friends in a way, you know? And because of that, they're like, hey, you know, what else can you help me with? You know, maybe we could finally clean out that garage that I've been slacking on. Maybe I've been doing this. So they go from, you know, just kind of staying at home all day and seeing this thing that's bothering them. They want to get rid of it. Now they're thinking, hey, Orson does junk removal. What can I get him to remove that would help me? You know, the conversation kind of shifts. It kind of changes. And I feel like because of that, I've been getting a lot more repeat customers. It's been helping me stay busy in these really slow times. And it's been working out great. So because junk removal is a very instant gratification thing, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. There's plenty of ways that you can change it to be more consistent, more long-term.
Wow, that's another dang good question. I mean, answer, broski. You're just knocking it out the park. It's like we're
knocking. I'm just going and knocking it out the park, you know?
Like it's weird. It's like we're doing you know, Chat GPT or something. Both of us.
No way.
No way. I'm pulling this up on the live stream because I want to see.
Yeah, maybe we got some comments. Does the audience want to know anything? Let's see.
Yeah. Okay. So we do. We do. Oh man, all around junk gave me shit right now. Fuck.
Ooh.
I'm struggling looking at your haircut.
Bro, it's bad, dude, right? They chopped it up. They messed me up.
I think they're talking about mine, bro.
Nah, bro. Wait, before we started, I told you, hey, bro, I don't want to do this. I told you I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
All right, all around junk. Who you making fun of? Me or Ricardo?
Yeah, who are you making fun of?
Who are you making fun of over here?
We want to know. We're down there. We're down there. All right, so let's get to the next question. You know, and I want to kind of say something about the last question. Okay.
Okay.
You worked with me for a long time, like 6 months, right? Or longer than that. I don't even remember, but you worked with me for a long time. And you saw me reacting to the customer. You saw me bitching at the customer. You saw me arguing with the customers. And you also saw me in a friendly mood with the customers. You could tell how I communicated with the customers. And I always told you, Orson, don't open your mouth. Watch what I do and learn. And I'm going to tell you something about Orson. He shut his mouth up. He watched me, and you adapted to it. And you saw how I got customers retention, how I held my customers, right? But I want to talk about one serious video that a lot of people talked about, and that was me scratching the floor inside the house. You were with me that day, am I correct?
I was with you that day. Yeah, that was a very big video for us.
Yes, it was. Now, you went inside the house, and I want you to describe to the audience the house and the amount of work that we had to do to get the piano out. This was not a put it on the dolly and the boxes that were in the way and everything. So just really fast, talk about that and how I was able to get mad at him and how we did more work than the $200 that we got paid. And when it scratched the floor, tell them about the floor, because you can't really tell how bad the floor is. You only look at my scratches. Talk about that.
No, yeah. So this was a baby grand piano that we were removing. And as soon as we pulled up to the house, I already knew this was going to be bad because it was an enchanted forest, you guys. Like, I've never seen shrubs so big before, you know, never. And I was like, before we even got out of the car, I was like, we should skip this one. We should just go home, you know? We were like, no, let's do it. So we walk in, and it's like, we got to, like, watch our step and stuff, you know? We're moving stuff around. And then the guy's like, yeah, the piano's right over there. And we both looked, and we were like, where? Because the guy was using it as a table, you know? So we had to move stuff around, blah, 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 blah. Everything was dirty around it. And so you took that, we both did. We took it as an opportunity, you know? We'll just knock it out real quick. So we took the sledgehammer, broke it off into pieces, because who cares, right? This house is a disaster already. And we got the piano on. We got all the parts outside. We got the piano on the dolly. And I guess as we were dollying it out, something scratched something, you know? And we were looking for the scratch, and there was a scratch, but there were also 10 other ones. So we were like, which one's even from the piano? And we didn't think anything of it. We just kept going because I mean, like, this house is a mess. And then the customer's like, hey, you scratched my floor. And that kind of started a little argument. And you were talking with the guy. I came up to you, and I remember you telling me, hey, just wait for me over there at the truck.
Yeah, I did not want you to get tainted.
Yeah,
I was about to talk to the guy really rude, and I thought to myself, I don't want Orson to see this. I said, Orson, do you mind stepping outside? And you're like, yeah, sure. Because you knew there was going to be a battle.
I knew it was going to be bad. Yeah, I knew it was going to be bad.
You knew it was going to be a battle. So you stepped outside, and I remember you walking away. You put your head down. You're like, oh, he just walked away like a dog with his tail. And you just walked away. And I'm like, here we go. But, you know, and I want to make it clear that, Orson, I wasn't there to teach you anything that day. What I was there is I did not want to taint you. You know what I mean? I don't want you to treat customers like you did. I've been doing this for 17 years. You had been doing it for like 17 days when it went to that point, you know? Yeah. So I just asked you to step out, and I wanted to be clear that this guy was a hoarder. First of all, he was a hoarder. Second of all, we moved way more than $200 worth of a piano. We moved all these boxes. Remember the boxes in that big old chest? We had to move to the side.
Dresser,
get the piano out of the way. And then the parquet that was in the front had scratches, had gum on it. I remember seeing a lot of gum on it. And it was just, I mean, there was like hair dye on it where it just died. I don't know what it was, but it was bad.
It was bad.
I scratched it, and I said to him, I remember saying to him, I said, are you serious with the amount of scratches this thing you want a discount? And I said, I'm not going to give him a discount. So I didn't want you to see that, you know what I mean? So that's why I asked you to leave. So let's get on to the third question, okay?
Yeah, real quick before we move on, you know, that did kind of teach me something. You got to stand up for yourself.
Right.
You know, people are always going to try to get over on you about something.
Right.
And it's happened, you know, to me previously too, in other jobs I've done after that fact, where say I hit like on the door frame or something like that, or something got a little messed up. If I hadn't had been working with you, I would think that's the end of the world. I would be so apologetic. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 blah. But by working with you, we can really play a lot of this stuff off. You know, customers tend to really not care. You know, it's surprising to me because I care a lot about my home, but most people really, really don't. So whenever I'm moving a fridge, if I knock something like down or whatever, I try to like play it off, be cool about it, just be real nice with the customer. Most of the time, it does not matter. That we laugh it off and that's it. And in certain scenarios where they do say something, you also got to remember, you know, what are the surroundings like? If we move that piano out of some of these other homes we've done for, and we scratched up their floor, I'm sure the situation would go a lot different. But whenever there's already previous damage, things like that, we can only do so much.
Yeah, most definitely. Good answer. Guys, by the way, we're live right now. It is a Thursday morning. We have about maybe, how many inches of snow did we get? Like 3 inches, 4 inches, bro?
I know Denton is covered in snow right now. Really? Denton is white. Here in Grand Prairie, we're just getting a lot of rain, a lot of sleet and rain. So, Fort Worth, where you're at, I think has a little more snow.
I think we got 3 inches of snow. Because, I mean, I put my foot down and my whole foot almost sank in there. So
really? No, I'm looking out my window. I just got water right now. Just
really? Okay. So I got 3 inches of snow. Guys, by the way, we're staying at home. We're at home today. We're not working today or probably tomorrow either, right? We're not going to work tomorrow, right?
Nope. And that's the great thing about junk. You can take days off.
Yes.
You know? I'm so thankful because, you know, I went grocery shopping this morning for a couple of necessities. There were people working. People were having to work. And I had, you know, that blessing that I'm a business owner now. I can just take the day off for bad weather. Previously, I would be outside right now cleaning cars.
Yeah, you know? Definitely. If you got any questions to ask Orson here, please put it in the chat on the YouTube chat, and I will ask him the questions. So right now I have people that are in the room, and you know, if you have any questions, anything, if you're new to the business, if you're entering this business and you want to know something of the industry or what to expect out of this business, ask the question. You have someone who's been doing it for 17 years and someone who's been doing it for 17 months. You can ask us the question, okay? And we'll be glad to answer. So here we go. And getting to that, what are your thoughts on the future of junk removal? Do you see any emerging? Here's a great one. God, it seems like I chat GPT these questions, bro. Do you see any emerging technologies or trends that will significantly impact the field as we go down and ride this?
So I see a lot of new technology coming into this business all the time. You know, that there's a lot of people building software. There's people making new equipment, new dollies, stuff like that. I see on TikTok all the time people making a new dolly software, this, that. Guys, don't complicate it. Junk removal is it's junk removal. We are removing junk. There is always going to be, we live in a really technologically advancing world right now. You know, every day there's a new creation out there. There's something new. There's something for you to spend your money on every day. Every day someone's going to want you to spend money on. And you're going to say, oh, it's only $5 a month. It's only $10. It's only $100. That stuff adds up. You know what I'm for the next year? I mean, I feel like I already have all the equipment I need. I got a dolly. I got a sledgehammer. I got a basic tool set and a very fancy Milwaukee brand. But that's all I need. So I'm using Google Calendar. I'm using Google Notes for my scheduling. I'm using Google Maps for my routes. All of that stuff is free. And that's all you need, you guys. You do not need all this new fancy, shiny stuff. And as for how I'm going to be getting my leads, you know, there's always going to be a new company out there selling you leads. I'm going to keep using my website. I'm going to keep using free sites like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Nextdoor. And that's it for me, you know. Junk removal, you do not need anything new.
Awesome. That's great. You know, when Orson started working with me, he was talking about workies, and he said, should I sign up? Should I do? I said, bro, try Google Calendar. And Orson's like, you mean Google, like Google Calendar? I was like, yeah, just try Google Calendar. And since then, he's never looked back. And even the jobs that I give Orson or the jobs that Orson gives me, they are transferred over by Google Calendar. We get them in the email, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do a job. I don't have to pay anything. Why not? You know what I mean? So I got a question from HD Green Solutions. I'm going to read it. I did not proofread it. So if it's something stupid, I'm going to ask the question anyway. Here we go. I have a question. I am a big believer in strong SEO. Websites, socials, organic content, and bandit science. Do you think it's fine to do a bit of paid ads just to give me a small bump to the business?
That's a good question. Good question.
This question's for you, Orson, because you have never bought an ad or a paid anything. You have never paid anything, right?
Nah, I think the only thing I've ever paid for was a Craigslist ad for $5.
Okay,
you know?
okay. So Craigslist doesn't count. Craigslist doesn't count.
But as far as like Facebook ads, Google ads, Yelp ads, I haven't done it. So what I've noticed for me, the reason that I feel like I'm doing so well, that I'm successful, is my price point is very low. I have very low overhead because my leads are free. You know, my profit margin is way up there. Whenever you start competing with these people that pay for ads, you'll notice that they're a lot more expensive than you are. And that's to account for that ad. So I think the average is what, like $50 per lead on Google, I think, if I remember right from videos of other people. Imagine you do $100 job and you got to pay $50 for that lead. What is that gonna do to you? You know, I mean, if you have the extra money, try it out. But if you have good SEO, a good website, good social stuff like that, you should be busy enough to where you don't need to do that. You know, you don't need to pay that money. But I mean, hey, everyone is different. Try it out, see if it works for you. But me personally, you know, if I have that extra time, I'm just gonna add another page to my website. I'm gonna spend an hour optimizing my Google My Business page, doing something. And I think that's going to pay off a lot more over time. So he said it would be less than 10% of his gross income. I mean,
I'd like to answer this if you don't mind.
Yeah. Good. Let's see what you
think.
When
you say 10% of your gross income, I want you to think about that gross HD solutions. I want you to think about that 10%. Some of these junk removal owners who have 5 to 6 trucks, 22 to 30 employees, a manager, and sit home, their percentage is 6 to 8. That's their profit margin. 6 to 8. And you say, I'm only going to spend 10%? Think about that. Other companies use 6 to 8% profit to run their business. That's why they stay in business, because they're only relying on that 6, and you want to spend 10%. So I'm going to tell you something, HD Green Solutions, and I don't know how many times I've seen him. Have you ever seen him post on Facebook or anything? Have you ever seen that post by HD Green Solutions? I haven't. I don't know if you have, Orson.
I haven't, no.
Yeah. Maybe concentrate on posting on social media and making some kind of headlines on social media. And then try that, put 10% of your work into that. And then maybe you'll see better income. But spending money, you're going to be disappointed. If anything, spend $10 on Craigslist. Because if you spend $10 on Facebook ads, you're going to get dust.
Yep.
Dust. You know what I mean? Dust. We just had someone else join up. Junk Solutions DFW. What's up, man? What's up? All right, let's get to the next question. How do you balance, Orson, how do you balance the need for profitability? And I know you have a big old commitment because you're always talking about the environment with me and stuff. How do you balance the need for profitability with your commitment to environmental and recycling responsibility, and being ethical in this business overall?
Yeah, so for me, you know, like the ethics of it, I think matter personally more than profit. Obviously, we have to make money. You know, that's why we're in business, is to make money. But I feel like if you're doing things the right way, you're gonna be making the money no matter no matter what. It's going to be there. So for me, you know, whenever we pick up a fridge or something like that, take it to a recycling center. They pay very little, but they take the freon out responsibly, you know, instead of just those people who just cut the line or whatever like that. You know, we don't do that.
Yeah.
Cardboard, it takes more time, but you know, we go recycle that too. We separate all the cardboard out of the trailers. We go recycle that. Um, we're not just, you know, business owners, but we're a part of the community here. You know, I'm a part of the Grand Prairie community. You're all over Dallas and stuff like that. And I think we have kind of a little commitment to those communities, you know, to do our jobs responsibly. So I always take my profit, I feel like stays the same, but it does take me a little more time. But I know that, you know, I'm doing the right thing. I'm helping out the people that helped me.
Awesome. That's a good question. Good answer, man. Like, you got ChatGPT this stuff or something, bro. It's crazy. Oh, here's a great one. What advice would you give someone considering a junk removal business starting right now in this industry?
Don't complicate it, you know? Don't complicate it. Just go out there and do it. I mean, even if you don't have a trailer, you know, just go out there with your truck. Just do it. You do junk removal out of a van right now, right? I mean,
Yes,
it doesn't matter. You know, just go out there, do it. Don't sign up for anything. Don't buy stuff. Just go out there, do a couple jobs, see what you feel like how it is, and you're going to learn from there. You're going to make mistakes and you're going to learn from them. But the absolute worst thing you can do, spend a bunch of money on something you've never done before, spend a bunch of time on something you haven't done before. For what? You know, just go out there and just start. That's my biggest advice for somebody.
Yeah, I think I gave you that advice, to be honest.
You did. Yeah, you did. Because, you know, I was always like, I was showing up to every job with something new. We did a piano. I showed up with a new sledgehammer. You're like, what are you doing? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, over time I learned you don't have to do that kind of stuff. You go to the job and learn from that one job. Learn what to do. And absolutely do not listen to all those people on Facebook, on Instagram, on everything that you have to buy the software. You got to do this. You got to do that. If you're running $1 million business and you got too much money sitting in the bank, yeah, maybe some software is going to help you out. But for the one-man show just doing junk removal, you do not need all that extra stuff. And you might think it's only $10, $20, $50. That stuff adds up. $50 a month is $600 a year. You know, it adds up.
Wow. So we got another question on the chat. Lionheart Hauling and Junk Removal says, Orson, why aren't you working?
Yeah, because I don't have to. I decided today I'm not going to go work. That's Brandon, by the way, from Lionheart.
Yeah.
You know,
so
he's helped me out a lot too. He's given me some jobs too. Actually, I've worked with him a couple times. Brandon's a great guy out of Aubrey, Texas.
Yeah. So let's talk about that right there. You led me to the next question. How is the junk removal community in the Dallas-Fort Worth area compared to a community that's in California or New York or Chicago, more states that the cultural differences are totally off the reservation compared to us and how we do it and why we do it in the DFW area?
No, yeah. I mean, hey, we have that Southern hospitality here in Texas. You know, we are all friends. We have a big community of people here. And I mean, what more can we say? Just Southern hospitality. I've worked with Brandon from Lionheart. I've worked with Carlos, with Jose, with you every single day, pretty much. I've worked with Randy, James, just so many people. And the best part about it is too, you know, I'll get a call from somebody just wanting to check up, just see, hey, how you doing, man? What's up? How are you? How's work going? How's life? Stuff like that. And I'll do the same. I call people and I'm just like, hey, what's up? How are you doing? I've made so many friends, so many connections in junk removal just by being a part of this community. And that's so awesome. You know, it is so awesome to have that opportunity, to have that just blessing. And I don't know if it's the same way in other states, but I know it's like that here. We have two bald guys also. They're the reason why I got my first camera. I met them at the Junk Removal Summit, and they showed me the GoPro, and that's why I bought it. I think they're based out of San Antonio, if I remember right.
Yeah.
And it's been awesome, dude. This community is such a blessing. It's so cool.
Yeah. And you know, I started sharing jobs with competitors like 10 years ago, and I said, you know, why can't we don't have to be enemies, we don't have to be competitors, we can be friends and have competition, you know what I mean, between us. The first time that I ever hired another company, you looked at me and said, how is this working out, Ricardo? How are you doing? And I said to you, dude, you just got to be like this with people, bro. They're going to be competition anywhere. You might as well be friends with them. You see what I mean? And now, Orson, you even go out of the way and you make friends with companies, and I'll ask you what you're doing. You're like, well, I'm here with Maddie, or I'm here with Clint. I'm here with, you know, Brandon. And I'm like, shit, you went off. He goes, well, you do it. Why can't I do it? And I'm like, you're right. Why can't you do it? You know? So I know for a fact they do not do this in New York. I know in a fact they definitely don't do it in California. You know what I mean? We are totally different. Our culture, the way we are as Texans to Californians, is totally different. You know what I mean? I don't think they have the sense or the community to even do anything like that. I can't think of one company that's in Cali or in New York. Let's just take Cali, for instance, that shares jobs with their competitors.
Yeah.
You never see it on Facebook, you know, and I want to make that clear. There's a lot of companies in California that can. Anyway.
I've seen videos of, because there's a lot of personalities on YouTube that do junk removal. And this question comes up a lot. What do you do when you go on vacation? And the majority answer from people other than you is, I just don't answer, or I schedule it out later.
Oh, I see that all the time.
Have you seen that? And I remember someone asking, they were like, why don't you just give it to a competitor? And they were like, why would I want to help out my competitor? They just couldn't grasp that idea, which is so crazy to us. But to them, they're like, why would I want to help them out? You know? or a big thing, they also were like, well, what if that customer turns out to be a repeat customer or something like that? They don't want them to succeed. Whereas here, we're a big family, you know, we're all friends, we're all cool with each other. I'm like, I want you, of course I want you to succeed. I'm going on vacation for the next couple of weeks, actually. If I get a phone call, I'm calling you up, I'm calling Brandon, I'm calling whoever. If I can't do the job, I don't want it to go to waste. If I don't pick up and get that job, they're going to call the next person on the list. I don't know who that person is, so I'm going to give it to my buddies. I'm going to give it to all my friends first, and that's just how we roll here in Texas.
Yeah, in the DFW area. Be clear.
In the DFW area.
You said that companies can't grasp. I like how you said that, can't grasp the idea of a junk removal community. Can you kind of dissect that for me? How you meant that compared to other communities? Well, there is no community, but other cities and other states that is not in Texas. Can you kind of dissect that for me? What you meant by that?
Yeah, so I think, you know, here growing up in DFW, I grew up here in Grand Prairie, and we were always, you know, in school, just in life, anywhere, we were always taught, you know, community first, you know, help out your neighbors, stuff like that. You know, we're a really, really tight-knit group as Texans, as Dallasites, stuff like that. And it's not like that in other states. So I've lived in Chicago before, and everyone there just hustle and bustle, you know, just hustle, pay attention to you, don't care about anyone else, worry about yourself. Whereas here, you know, when we're growing up, we're taught to, you know, help your neighbor, do this, do that. And so I think that just translates into junk removal. We have those principles in us because that's how we were raised. So we want to help each other, you know. I mean, you're such a prominent name in the junk removal industry, and it's because you help out so many people all the time. You know, you don't just teach people, you don't just give them, you know, a fish or food, for example. You teach them how to fish, you teach them how to do junk removal. Whereas, you know, in other states, they weren't raised that way. You know, they weren't taught to, you know, help each other out. And I think that's just why they struggle so much with it, you know.
Definitely.
As Texans, we're just built better. We're just built different over here.
Definitely. Let me see. What role? Here's another question for you. Well, I got some question here. Two Ball Guy says, I'm currently working on pulling the junk removal companies together in San Antonio. I think you're the reason for the cohesive relationships, Ricardo. Not bad. I think he asked me about that. He called me one time out of the blue and he said, Ricardo, how do I ask another junk removal company to work with me? And we communicated. I kind of told him how to do it. So even this is relating to what you're talking about right now. You know what I mean? The next question here is, I'm just thinking of that about on the top of my head. I'm not reading anything. If you could give one piece of advice to your younger self, starting out in junk removal, what would it be?
Okay, so what would I give myself like advice from when I started, in March? Just don't overthink it, dude. Stop overthinking so much about how is this gonna work, how is that gonna work. Just like I always overthink stuff. I'm always trying to be a couple steps ahead. When in reality, you just gotta go there and just do it. Just don't stress about it, just do it. If something goes wrong, something's gonna go wrong. So what? What I love about junk removal, every day is a new day. Every day is a new day. It's not like other jobs where you're doing something repeatedly. You're dreading to go to work because you hate doing that or whatever. We don't really have that in junk removal. I mean, how often do you do the same thing twice? It's pretty rare, you know? I mean, yeah, we remove fridges every day, but every freaking one is different. Every driveway's there, every customer is different. Every single time you go do it, it's gonna be different, So why stress about it? When you're gonna do it, you're either gonna get it done or you're gonna leave, and then you're gonna go to the next job and the next one, and then you're gonna do 300 more that year. That's not gonna matter. Right. So I guess just don't overthink so much.
And this next question is leading to that, what you just said, that statement kind of. How has running your business impacted your personal growth, and what skills have you learned that is kind of skills and qualities that you have developed as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, so I feel like I'm a lot more easygoing now. Kind of more go with the flow.
Definitely a lot easier going.
I mean, when I started, I was like a stick. I was just all business, all serious stuff like that, whatever. Now when I show up, I'm like, hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? I'll say hi to the kiddos. They got kids. I'll say hi to the dogs. Oh, wow, you got such a nice house. That's so cool. What kind of car is that? Like, where before I was like, oh, hi, ma'am. Yeah, I'm Orson. I'm here to remove your piano today. We're going to be using this dolly. We're going to get it very carefully out the stairs, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? I heard that I'm here to remove like a large car or something. Like, you got the keys, we'll take that right away for you. I don't say that, obviously, but you just go easy, a little more easygoing and stuff like that. If something goes wrong, I just feel like whatever, stuff goes wrong. So I cut the crap out of a floor the other day with you, remember?
Yeah, I did.
And instead of panicking like I would usually do, I'm like, pour some water on it.
Pour some water on it. Funny, relating to me and Orson, this is how fast he catches on. So I show up to the house and Orson's right next to me, and I knock on the door, and the lady answers the phone. I said, "Hi, ma'am. We heard your dog is running away. We're here with the dog. What did I call it? I said dog. The animal
dog recovery services.
We're here with the animal rescue. We're here to take your dog away." And she goes, and then Orson said, "Yes, we heard he's really." And he looks over and sees the dog. And he goes, "We heard it's a golden retriever." And then she goes, "You're here to remove my fridge." And we're like, "Yes," and breaking the ice right there.
Yeah.
So that's how fast he caught up to it. He was like, "What's he doing? We heard it's a golden retriever." And I was like, and boom, we're in the house. And then we scratched up that guy's floor. And that's the guy's floor that we scratched up. But he didn't care. He was just.
They love us. That's the thing, is they don't care because we're their friends. We're friendly.
Yeah.
If you want to succeed in junk removal or in any business, just be friendly with the people. No one wants to talk to some stern guy about blah, 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 blah. They want to feel comfortable. We're strangers. When we walk through that door, we're strangers. Mm-hmm. So how do we make that connection? How do we build a little friendship? And that's what works for us.
Yep, definitely. Thanks. Good question again. It seemed like, you're saying good questions, and I'm like, good answer. You're back and forth. Okay. Yeah. Here's another one. What is your biggest takeaways from this past year in business, and what lessons have you learned that will carry you forward? What lessons is Orson going to learn that's going to carry you forward? Okay.
Yeah. Lessons that I've learned, just keep it simple, guys. Just keep it simple, keep it easy. Going forward, one thing I'm gonna do better is definitely work on SEO a little more, work on the website more, stuff like that. I feel like I've slacked on that. And yeah, social media. Do more social media. What other lessons can I think of off the top of my head? Man, you just got these deep questions. No.
Yeah.
That's what I would do.
Check out this question that just came out. Read that for me.
Let's see. From Troy Webster. Hey, seen your videos at your Fort Worth location. Crazy. I worked next door at. Oh, snap. We know we don't know you personally, but I've met a couple of people that work at that shelter. They're all really, really cool. They're awesome.
That's crazy, bro. That's
right.
Crazy.
What a small world.
What a small world. Troy, yeah, that is our headquarters for our junk guys, but it also transforms in September. It's all about a haunted house until December. So that's pretty funny that you said that, man. That's crazy. You should come over one time when we're there. We're not there very often right now, but come over one time and free tickets for Troy.
Yeah, we'll give you a tour. Yeah, we'll give you a tour.
Speaking of the haunted house, let's talk a little about that. How does ChatGPT get involved in something like that? What happened with your business when we did the haunted house? Because a lot of people, I got a message on Facebook said, "What's Orson doing?" And I remember this back in October when we were working and said, "What's Orson doing? How can he get so much time off?" And kind of tell him what happened then, what you did with your business when you started working full time with me.
Yeah, so the haunted house, that's a beast of a company right there. That is no easy thing to do. And, we put absolutely every resource we had into that place. So, I wasn't getting paid right away for that. We were just kind of tracking it down, keeping a good list. And since I was a business owner, I was running my junk removal company. It was still in the early stages, so I also didn't have that much saved up. So for a couple of weeks, I would just go to the haunted house at like 9 a.m., stay there till 6, and try to do my jobs from like 6 to 8 or something like that. Really schedule them tight. And sometimes, I had to give them to another company. I had to do something else because the haunted house, it was such a large vision. We knew it was going to work out. I believed in it. And thankfully, that all paid off in the end. But what you got to do is just think, I feel like GPTX Junk Removal, my little company here is awesome.
Yeah.
It's great, but it's a one-man show. It's a small business. This haunted house, this is going to be a national company one day.
I'm going to stop you there. I'm going to stop you for a second. I want you to comprehend and let the junk removal owners realize the difference between making money in junk removal and making money in a haunted house, and what the difference is, but the scale of profitability and revenue is in a haunted house and a junk removal service. But before you answer that question, I want to say something. I put up my numbers for the haunted house the other day, and I had a lot of people say things about it. Okay. There were truth. Everything was truth about it. Everything was good about it. When I hired Orson, and this is hard to do. I walked up to Orson and I said, "God, man, maybe he'll fall for it. Maybe he won't fall for it." And he always brings this up. Orson always brings this up. And I said, "Orson, work with me now. Help me with this haunted house for 2 weeks straight, just 2 weeks straight. And I will take you." What did I say? I will take you, Orson, remember?
To the promised land. You're going to take me to the promised land.
I said, "I will take you to the promised land. Just work with me." And Orson gave me 3 weeks, 9 o'clock to 5 p.m., sometimes 8 p.m., but usually it was 9 to 5, and sometimes it was 8 to 4. But Orson dedicated his whole day without working junk room. We would get calls, wouldn't we? We would get calls.
Yeah.
Send in the man.
And by the way, this isn't Monday through Friday. This is 21 days straight.
Yeah, this is 21 days straight. No, we work Sundays, bro. We work.
Oh,
Sundays.
every day, rain or shine, but any day. Yeah.
During this process, and I'm gonna get back to this question because this is business. This is relating to business. Okay, this is all about business. I wanted to teach Orson that working hard and getting your mindset that this has to work, there's no doubt about it, it has to work, that I will take him to the promised land. And what I meant when I said promised land is that this would be his future eventually. And not only that, that we're going to make a shitload of money.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Orson, I'm going to ask that question. You saw the amount of people that were at the haunted house. You saw the hard work that we put in. Do I need to work anymore doing junk removal?
No, absolutely not. No. The haunted house, it's grown. You've grown it for the past, 4 or 5 years. I just came on recently. But if you wanted to retire today, you could. You know, the haunted house has grown so much, so exponentially it has grown. And you don't need to be doing junk removal. But, you know, guys, Ricardo is the kind of guy, and I tell him this all the time. Yeah, he's such a good member of the community. You know, you get so much hate online. But you really, junk removal, this industry would not be the same without you in it. Because you've taught so many people. I mean, you showed me how to do it. You're showing James right now how to do it. You've helped out Jamal and so many other people. And I'm very thankful for you. And I'm sure the rest of the community is too.
Yeah, definitely. Orson, so I made Orson the general manager. I was the owner. I own the one in Dallas and I own the one in Fort Worth. I made Orson the general manager of the haunted house for a whole month. And he did a great job. He was a hard ass worker. I'm going to tell you. I remember one of the walls fell off and I got and we were packed. It was a packed house. And I said, Orson, I need you section 1, bring everything. He goes, what do I bring? Everything. Man, Orson had his backpack on. He was carrying that Milwaukee chest thing that didn't even fit through there. He brought it in size, dragged it. He had a flashlight. He had a drill. We're just sitting there, and he was in there in less than a minute. Now I want to tell you the dedication Orson had to this haunted house. That my brother, and my sisters, and my other sister, who are also partners in the haunted, were like, "Dude, fuck, we need an Orson." They were like, "Orson." And I told them, "Dude, Orson showed up, and he was, and he's like, what do I need?" And we had to stop the line to fix this because some girl grabbed it and shook it too hard and broke it off. But overall, he was a hard ass worker. He worked his ass off, and you got paid really good for it too.
Yeah. You know, the fruits of my labor showed up. Yeah. And I knew.
I think it was a little less than $10,000 that I paid you for that month. We don't want to give details about it, but I mean that's pretty.
For like 15 or 16 days of work, you guys. Yeah, you know, that's how long we were open. And
that's crazy. That is
but I knew it was gonna work out, and you knew it was gonna work out because we just worked too damn hard. We worked too hard. It was scary because that first week, you know, we didn't get a lot of customers. Remember, that first week was kind of slow. We sat down and we were like, crap. But I knew that, you know, this was gonna work out. There was just no way it wasn't going to. And then that second week showed up. And we had a line to the street. We had to stop letting people in because we were overcrowded. It was amazing. And this next year, we're going to be back even bigger, better.
Way bigger.
And I can't wait to be a part of it, you know, for next year, for the year after that, and for as long as possible.
I'm remembering a line that you said to me when we were building the roof, when we were fixing the roof in March, where we couldn't get the CO, we couldn't get the certificate of occupancy for the building, and we're building the roof, and we were up on the roof. It was about 105 outside. It was hot as hell. We were sweating, and this is the kind of, I'm saying this because the hard work Orson puts in, And this is the same kind of hard work and dedication you need to put to your junk removal business. When you have a mindset like Orson, you're going to succeed. I don't give a fuck what you do. If you're picking up dog shit every day, you're going to succeed. But his mindset, we were up on the roof, and I told Orson, I said, man, and he goes, Ricardo, there's one parking lot over there. There's one parking lot over here. And there's another parking lot over there. I said, Orson, one of these days, I hope that I can fill all three of them. I just hope. He goes, man, that's like 150 cars. And I'm like, it is, bro. But I'm in my head, I have that dream to fill up each one of those parking lots, and every one of those is our customer. And I'm going to tell you, I got the phone call. I think it was a Saturday, 2 weeks prior to Haunted House. And what did you say on the CB?
I was like, dude, you did it. And you were like, I did what? And I was like, dude, you fucking did it. You did it, dude. And you were like, what? And I was like, come switch places with me real quick. I want to show this to you.
Yeah.
And I came and to the line. You went outside, and you were like, holy shit. We fucking did it, dude. Every single spot was filled up. We were parking people on the street.
We were parking on the street.
It was crazy. In the first year, in the second week, it paid off. Damn. And it was really cool because we were up there on that roof, just killing ourselves.
I'm going to tell you, yeah, we were on the roof killing ourselves. The exact words that Orson said was like, hey, you motherfucker. And I go, what? We did it. I said, what are you talking about? He goes, we fucking, you piece of shit. Come out here and look at this shit. And I said, what are you talking about? He goes, every spot has a car on it. And I said, spot? He goes, every parking spot, just like you fucking did. Dude, get your fucking in. And I went out there. We cuss at each other all the time. And I ran out there. Sure enough, people parking in the street, man. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, wasn't it? And I remember going, awesome, we're fucking rich. I said, I'm going to buy you a Lambo with what? With what?
The green Lambo, yeah, the haunted house. It was funny because at one point, every time I saw a car, I was like, that's $100. That's $150. Oh, that's a big SUV. That's $200 right there.
Yeah.
It was crazy, dude. I was freaking out because, a big part of my job outside was, damage control, making sure everyone was, parking right, not killing themselves, not hitting anything. There were too many cars. They were backed up to the street.
Yeah.
Could barely get them in. So it was awesome. I can't wait for next year.
You asked a great question. Sorry to interrupt. Brandon, you asked a great question. He says, Lionheart and junk removal. He says, did you change marketing strategy after the first week? And we're talking about the haunted house. Just put down there, we're talking about the haunted house. Okay. Because I'm pretty sure he would be, right? Right?
Yeah. So after that first week, we did not do good. We lost money, I think, every day.
Yeah, we lost $500 first day, $600 the second day.
Yeah. And so what we did is we all got together, me, you, your sisters and brothers, and we were like, every person needs to do something. So we all went around the table. We were like, okay, Ricardo, what are you going to do? And you were like, I'm going to post on Facebook like crazy. Your sister said she's going to post on TikTok like crazy. I said, I'm going to post on Craigslist like crazy. We, instead of complaining that it was slow, what we did is we found solutions. We saw the problem. We're not getting people. Okay, this is what we're going to do to fix it. Because there's no point in complaining. And so relating to junk removal, everyone is always like, it's so slow. Well, what are you doing about it?
Wow, this is great. You're going all out.
What are you doing about it? Are you making a LinkedIn? You know what I did the other day? I made a Pinterest. Pinterest, cool. Bro. Are you posting on Twitter? Are you posting on Facebook? Yes, I'm doing all that. All right. Next, are you posting on, I don't know, Blogger, Tumblr? You post on Tumblr, don't you?
Tumblr, yeah.
There's always something more you can do. And so with the haunted house, that first week was awful. We did not do good. We all gave each other a job, and the second week worked out. It worked out great.
And I want to go to that because this question gets asked to me when it comes junk removal related. Hey, Ricardo, we're really, really slow. What should we do? And when the haunted house was slow, you're talking about a $40,000 cash investment in a business, 25 employees, one general manager that I have to worry about. You're talking about a full-blown business. You're talking about CBs, walkie-talkies, stereo systems, chainsaws, a changing room that cost me thousands of dollars. You're talking about an investment in a business. What did we do? We did a Google Meet. We got together. Orson was in it. My sister was in it. My other sister was in it. My brother was in. There's five of us in the meeting. And I said, it was slow. We need to do something. We need to change it. That week, what I did was I posted on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and then I did about 5 videos on YouTube about the haunted house. And these videos were like, let me show you this illusion. Let me show you this trick. Let me show. Orson went out of his way. You did something that got us some business. You remember what it was? You got on something.
Yeah, I made a bunch of events. I created a bunch of events on Craigslist, and I joined every Fort Worth Facebook group on the planet, and I created an event.
That's what it was. So Orson wasn't involved in the Facebook. So we didn't ask Orson. By the way, Orson was not in charge of any social media. Orson had no relation to social media. We did not tell him that. I was more thankful for him just helping me for those 3 weeks. So I didn't ask him to do nothing, but he took it upon his responsibility to say, hey, I'm going to dedicate myself to post on Craigslist. Who posts on Craigslist about a fucking haunted house? And guess what? We actually had customers come in from the haunted house on Craigslist, which was ridiculous. Yeah. And he made some events too about the haunted house on Facebook and stuff, and it worked out. But we went off and we took off from there. So the dedication that he had for my business on the haunted house. Imagine the dedication he has for GPTX junk removal and hauling in Grand Prairie. Bro, you're a soldier. And I always told you that, you know what I mean? And, I was so thankful to have somebody like him, like you on my team, dude. It was crazy. Here's a funny question. Okay, we're going to go back to questions and stop talking about the haunted house. What'd you say?
Yeah, cool. I said, that's awesome. Cool. Oh, we got Fred in the chat. What's up, Fred?
Oh, yeah, Fred. What up? What up? All right. What's the most, now that you've been in the business so long, what's the most unusual item you've ever had to remove doing a junk removal job?
Oh, man, dude, that's funny. You know what was a crazy job when we removed the mannequins? There's 200 freaking mannequins. That was weird. That was crazy.
Do you believe we moved those mannequins to the haunted house and they were used as a big part of the junk?
They were a huge part of the haunted house.
Isn't that crazy?
200 mannequins was weird. What else was crazy? We did an eviction, that giant eviction we did, remember? And the guy had like 6 cars in the parking lot.
Oh, shit, that's right.
That was wild. What else was it? There was another one that was really... There was a sketchy one, dude. We removed like a Soviet-era freaking satellite dish off of a 2nd-story roof that was collapsing. We had to watch our step so we wouldn't fall through.
I remember
that satellite was cool.
Yeah, so I said I was going to do this satellite by myself, and Orson was not with me at all. He was at home or he was working. He was working.
I was working, yeah. I was working because I had a trailer with me. I was working.
Yeah.
And you called me and you were like, "Hey, bro, I don't know what kind of satellite this is. I can't do this by myself." And I show up and I see the small satellite. I'm like, "You couldn't do this by yourself?" And you're like, "No, dude, it's that one. Look up." Looked up, and there it is. That was funny. We
got on the roof and it was just a complete mess. Oh my god! But we got it, and she paid us more than we were supposed to, right?
I don't remember.
She paid us $400. I told her I couldn't. And she said she paid anything, and I said, "Okay, we're gonna pay. You're gonna have to pay $400," which I felt so bad of doing it.
You know, that was a scary job. It was a very old lady. It was an older lady.
So here's another one. What's the funniest or most memorable experience you've had as a junk removal owner? Oh my god, dude, we've had so many.
We've had so many funny like moments, dude. We crack each other up all the time. Oh man, oh dude, I remember I was doing a hot tub with Maddie, with your son Maddie, and we had a rat came out of there, and Maddie, man, he went after that thing, dude. He was going at it like with the hammer, going nuts, going crazy. And I remember the rat was going this way, and then it like juked him. And as he was turning, he fell. And it was so funny. That was for real.
Hey, how about the tarantula?
Oh, I forgot about that, dude. We found a tarantula, and your stupid ass decided to catch it in a shoebox or something. and it fell in my truck. That was scary. That was a mess.
That was a dumb idea.
That was so funny, dude. That was so funny. Or like the dolly adventure you had. Remember you picked up that freezer with the dolly?
You know what's crazy about that? That was not acted. That was not. That was a fucking.
No, that was just a funny luck. What else was like a really funny
dolly
situation?
hit me in the forehead, then came back and hit
And
me
then in your stomach, yeah, hit you twice. Oh man, what's another real funny one? There's so many good times, dude. There's so many good times.
Oh, yeah, good times. So Orson, let me tell you the one that I love the most. So Orson he's the floor is like, here's the floor. Here's the floor right here. Let me show you that. This is the floor, and we're cutting a pipe this fridge, and the saw is pointing down. So the saw is like this. And I look at him and I'm going, does he know those are hardwood floors? No, he's not going to cut through. I think he's just making a mark, and then we're going to break it off with our hand. And I'm watching, and the saw goes, right? And it hits the hardwood floors. Fucking gap this deep.
And these aren't hardwood floors like you're thinking hardwood. No, these are solid wood, like really nice.
This is like a what, $800,000
mansion, dude. Yeah, people are so nice, like so sweet. They gave us tea.
Oh God, the tea was good. Remember the tea was so good.
Yeah, but I'll say real quick, I was cutting it correctly at first. I was going upwards with the blade. And you're like, Orson, you and your dumb Polish cutting ways, dude.
Yeah, I did.
So I was like, all right, whatever. But that was when I was cutting the top one. That's what you were like, dude, that's so dumb that you're cutting it upwards. So I was like, all right, well, the bottom one I'll cut downwards then, I guess. And I just wasn't thinking about it. I was happy about drinking the tea and stuff.
Yeah, we were
getting paid. And I just was not paying attention, and I cut right through that freaking thing, cut their floor. So that was real funny. We played that. I remember because I was down like cutting it, and you were standing up holding the door. And as soon as I cut it, I stopped the saw immediately, and I looked up, and you were like, all right, we're gonna do this now. All right, good job. Here, let's lift the door. Okay, let's go. And then you put your foot right where the go. We're like, hey, sir, could you grab us? Like, do you have like a thing? A thing you could grab us? Yeah. And as soon as he walked off, you were like,
we're fucked.
That was a big problem.
You know, we scratched up his floor more than I scratched up the piano. You know that, right?
No. We cut maybe like, I'd say like a 2-inch little. The saw, it hit the floor, obviously, but like it barely. I'd say maybe like a 2-centimeter cut, but there were such nice floors.
Yeah,
that it was very evident.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
I said the value.
Oh, the value is like 100. Yeah, those.
So the
floors
value to the parquet
cheap.
floors, the video that I recorded, the value to the parquet floors is zero.
Yeah.
Zero. The value to these floors, bro. Oh my God.
Thousands,
bro. They were so.
That was
cool
a big learning. They were so cool about it.
We laughed all the way home, bro. We laughed so much.
We got out of there quick. Got out of there fast. But it worked out at the end of the day. It worked out. Good times, bro. It's fun. It's what you make of it.
Yeah, it really is. I just remember, like, you know, this goes back to when I started junk removal. I remember pulling up to a site, a job, and 1-800-JUNK was there, and the guys had a clipboard, a nice shirt, collar, iron, slacks. They had that line between, like, they ironed their shit, starched it, and their logo 1-800, and he's sitting there talking to the lady, and there's two of them, and one has their hands behind their back. Because he's like, you know, being respectful, put your hands behind your back and just listen. And then they leave. They get in their car and they leave. And I was like, fuck. I get out of my 2006 F-350 gas truck. By the way, I just spray painted it with spray paint. My Walmart shirt that I bought for $9 neon. No hat. My hair looks like shit. And I walk up to the door and I go, ma'am, hi, I'm the other guy that you called for the estimate, blah, 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 yada, yada. We looked at all this stuff and I said, well, the price is this much. And this is when I first was starting out, Orson. So I didn't have a reputation or anything. And then I go, so just let me know when I could. She said, when can you do it? And I said, well, I can do it tomorrow. And she said, okay, let's just do it tomorrow. And I said, whoa, whoa, whoa. You hired me before you hired 1-800-JUNK. He goes, first of all, they're too expensive. And second of all, your attitude.
Mm-hmm.
She goes, we're just having fun with the whole thing. And I'm like, oh, shit, okay. And she goes, I would hire you any day. They're they were too pushy. And I was like, wow, okay, cool. And then that's when I knew I could compete with those guys. You know, not compete as a complete business, but negotiating, all that negotiate those fuckers any day, dude. They don't have anything on me. No way, dude. No way.
Nope. It's a big difference because, 1-800 hires employees. You're the owner of your business, And I mean, like, you can just, like, you walk in the room and you just get that confidence.
Yeah.
Like, you feel this guy is going to be able to do this, no problem. It's all about confidence. And then, too, we're doing junk removal. We're not doctors. We're not lawyers or anything like that. Like, you can have fun with this. People want to give the job to someone who's relatable, to someone who's fun, to someone who isn't going to be a bother to them for 30 minutes in their home. They got to deal with this for 30 minutes, sometimes an hour, sometimes more. They want someone who's cool, comfortable, collected, and you win 10 out of 10 times.
Right. I got a question from Two Bald Guys, Ed from Two Bald Guys. So a team effort turned your week around. How do you incorporate that effort when you work solo, brother? Because now you're out from underneath the EG. You're not the anymore,
Yeah, I mean, when it's kind of difficult because in junk removal sometimes they just call us. The garage is already open. You just grab it, you leave. They pay electronically. We never see someone. We talk about that all the time. How it can get kind of lonely out here. Out here in the trenches. Yeah. But I'm pretty busy throughout the day. I'm always on the phone with somebody, whether a customer, whether like a friend, like whoever. So that helps. But there's also times, I'll show up to a customer's house and I'm cleaning out their living room, for example. I make friends with the customer. We're suddenly a team. We have fun. I'm talking to them. I'm asking them stuff. They're asking me stuff. And it's awesome. It goes by so quick. Whereas, say 1-800-JUNK come in with their clipboard, they're like, all right, we'll remove this, XYZ. They take their sweet time, 2 hours, super awkward. The customer does not have a good experience.
Yeah.
And that's it, But for me, I just try to make the best out of every single job. And it goes great. We did a job, actually, for a lady, a customer of mine. She ran a background check on us.
You remember that shit?
The background check lady?
Yeah.
And she said that she hired me because, she could see I was a real person, that I didn't have a record, blah, 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 blah. And while we were there, the whole time we were talking to her, we were friends. She grabbed the camera from us to record us, to help us, remember? No, she did point the camera at her face instead of at us. Yeah. But she tried. She put in an effort. Yeah. And the whole time we were laughing, we were having fun. She felt comfortable. If she had 1-800-JUNK there, they would not be the same thing. It would not be the same thing.
Here's what was crazy to me, and we need to do a video about that whole thing.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Big deal right there. And that would be a whole different video. Maybe we could get into it, but I'm gonna tell you right now, this is when I knew that this lady did a background check on him.
I thought she was lying too.
Yeah, I thought she was lying. She said, "How's your corgi?"
Yep.
How does she even know he has a corgi? Did they conversate on them? No, because Orson has a background. She got on his Facebook. She got on his social media, and she found out he had a corgi dog. And I said, hey, I turned around to Orson and I said, would y'all talk about it?
Yeah.
On the phone? And he goes, no. She goes, oh, I saw on his Facebook page. I said, what did you do? Run a background check? That's when I said, what did you do? Run a background check on you? You go, I actually did, and I also checked his on B&B, Better Business Bureau.
Yeah,
he's got
everything. Yeah,
stars, and I'm like,
she even knew about you. She knew about.
Yeah, she knew me about.
Lady did a deep background check.
Yeah. And I go, what? And she goes, yeah. And I said, well, I'm glad you didn't run a background check on my business because I would have got. I have warrants. Is what I told her. As a,
we were laughing. Yeah.
Yeah, we were laughing. I think I got a question over email. Oh, here goes. He says, hey, I got a question about the Google Analytics. How's it?
I don't know. That's a great question. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a direct question to me.
So real quick, so you subcontract out a lot of your jobs,
yes,
right? I think on your website it even says, you're a broker, So do you think that because like say that lady for me, she ran the background check on me, whatever. If I had subcontract that job out, it would be a way different story. Do you feel like it's better to subcontract or to do the jobs on your own?
Well, let's go back to the lady that ran the background check. This is a great question, like your ChatGPT or something. In the 17 years I've been doing junk removal, I've had 2 customers run a background check. One said that she ran a background, couldn't find anything negative about me. I just blew it off at nothing. Now that it happened in real time, and we know she really did.
Yeah.
She described your dog, and she described this and that about you, and I was just like blown away by it. She actually 100% ran a background check on you. They didn't really run a background check on me that day that they said they did. But now I'm kind of like thinking, did they really? They just couldn't find anything negative, or probably couldn't even find my business. You know what I mean? So they were like, if there's nothing bad about him, let him come. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
do you think it could be, though, that hasn't happened to you because they have ran the check and they decided not to hire you?
I don't know. I have no idea, bro.
Maybe that could be it, because obviously if they run the check on you, maybe they wouldn't hire you. So that hasn't happened.
That's right.
I
wouldn't know, bro. They wouldn't tell me. I wouldn't know. What was the actual question that you asked me? What was the actual question?
If you feel like because say I had subcontracted that job out, that suddenly devalues.
That was a good $300 job for us. That was a good job.
And also, I feel like it also matters to the location. So we were in a very nice neighborhood, and this was a very nice older lady. And obviously we didn't ask her, but we were assuming that she maybe is a widow, So that's the kind of client that needs junk removal because they can't do it on their own. And that's also the kind of client, who might be afraid of letting a stranger into their home. So it's kind of like the perfect mix of a client for junk removal.
Right. So I think the question that you asked me was, what if why I subcontract?
Subcontracting. If you feel like subcontracting is still the right thing to do because you do it so often.
Right. The chances of someone running a background check on me is slim. Really, I've done maybe thousands of jobs. I don't know, Orson.
Oh, for sure, thousands. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I always say I've done
17 years.
I've done a lot of jobs in junk removal, and I used to do a lot more than I'm doing this year, of course, a lot more. Subcontracting for me is something that I have to do. My business has to do it because I don't want to lose the job, but I also want to work with somebody that's reliable. Whenever I subcontract the job to, I'm going to name some people, okay? That I'm very confident will do a job for me. Orson, Madison, Brandon, DTX. Whenever I call these 4 people, quality, trustworthiness, professionalism. I mean, these guys are top of the line guys. These guys I know are going to get the job done. Whenever I subcontract somebody like Randy, that's a fucking different story. You know what I'm saying?
You had an issue with that, right? He asked that customer odd question.
Yeah. So that's a bit tougher. You know what I mean? James, who's watching this video right now, James is new. I have to be careful about which jobs I can give him so he doesn't go inside and steal something or go inside and piss on something or rape somebody. We don't know who these people are.
We don't know,
And I'm not saying anything bad about you, James. You've worked for me really good for me. But it's an issue. You see what I'm saying? It's an issue. I don't know if James smoking weed at home shows up, he smells like weed and does a job for a customer. And when he walks in, that weed smell takes a lot to get off of you. You go into the job and then you walk in there and you're smelling like weed and you're like, fuck. And the customer goes, oh yeah, you can remove my fridge. Yeah, just remove. I'm gonna go inside. You know what I mean? They're not gonna say anything because they're getting the fridge removed. I don't know how people are gonna react like that. You know what I mean? And so far, James hasn't fucked it up for me. But in my job, I have to subcontract jobs. I have too many things that I'm doing. I have my YouTube channel that pays me. I have my TikTok that pays me. I have the haunted houses.
Yeah,
that's a big deal. And a lot of people think that I only do the haunted house during October and November. It's an all-year thing for me.
Year-round. Yeah.
The other day Orson calls me and I'm like, I'm in Alvarado, Texas. He goes, you're buying another property. And he knew automatically. He goes, what are you looking at this time? And I was looking at a missile base, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
That I got almost arrested for jumping over the fence illegal. That's crazy. That's another story too. But
so real quick, so you have the great opportunity of being able to shadow these people before you send them on jobs.
Yes.
So what would you recommend to say? Like, I know Ed from the Bald Guys, he was saying that he wants to start working with other companies. What would you say to the companies that want to start subcontracting jobs out, but maybe don't have that opportunity, to work with them first?
Well, the opportunity has to present itself. For instance, you have to have the amount of customers. If you don't have the customers, you can't subcontract jobs. The only way you're able to subcontract jobs is if your foot's broken, you can't go to work, or you go on vacation with your wife for 2 weeks somewhere. You know what I mean? Or you visit someone that just is out of town at the moment because they visited during the festival. Those are the opportunity has to come. That means that your jobs will be taken care of by somebody that's respectable in business, but as a good person also. So that question that you asked me, I can't answer it directly.
So let's say Ed goes on vacation for a week. He's on vacation. His phone rings. How does he find someone to do that job for him?
Okay, Ed. Well, it's really easy for Ed because he knows Junk Guy San Antonio. He knows Josh. He's been in meetings with Josh. Ed would probably contact Josh directly from junkguysdfw.com and say, hey, will you take over these jobs? Why? Because Josh is a good guy. I yelled at him one time, but Josh is a great kid. He wants to work. He lost a lot of weight. He's, it's a respectable business. He knows already that Ed can pick up the phone and call him. But Ed has other friends that were in the meeting that he talks to already. You know what I mean? But somebody like James is a great example of, you are Maddie, look at Maddie, what he's done, who he works with. Maddie works with everybody now. He doesn't give a fuck. Maddie will just hire anybody. But let's talk about James. Let's say James gets a big job. James calls me and he says, Ricardo, can you help me out with this big old hoarder eviction? I don't know. It's a $10,000 job. Can you help me? And I'm saying, James, I'm going out of town with my wife. I cannot help you this week. And he says, can you send people to help? Ta-da! You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Think about that if it happened to Fred or Brandon. Well, Brandon has the ability to do the same thing I do, but Fred doesn't. A newcomer cannot do that because I'm there. You can do it too. You could do it. We have the ability to do it, to hire other companies because we know how we work. We can do it. We've done it before. You know what I'm saying? We can do it. Maddie had a big job a couple of days ago. And then, he calls Clinton. He calls another company, a guy that he knew that's in the area, and they went and knocked out this house clean out. And this happened, I think this happened like on Monday or something. And I couldn't help him out. I was in the hospital helping out Gregory. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could not help him. I thought Gregory was going to die or something. So
what you're saying, you really got to be a part of the community. You got to put yourself in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because, junk removal, it's such a business that you really can do on your own.
Yeah.
But there are those jobs that are going to come up like that. So even if you're doing good on your own, just put your foot forward, meet people, communicate, and that way you're going to know who's good and not. It's funny how you mentioned that with James. Like, what if he gets a big job? What is he gonna do? Because remember my first hoarder house?
Yes.
I called you and I was like, dude, I know I'm in over my head. Can you help me? And you actually went there and you did that job. You did the estimate with me, remember?
Yeah. And
you talked to the lady, and I opened my big mouth and stuff like that. We started talking, but we got the job. We got the job. And if I hadn't had known you, I would have probably hired some people from Home Depot. Would have taken me all day or 2 days to do that job, right? But because of you, I asked you, hey, can we do this 50-50? I don't know what I'm doing. And you were like, yeah, here, this is what we're going to do. So we hired Brandon and
we made $800 a piece or something like that, right? Or something?
Yeah, something like that. I know the job total was $2,500. And we paid 2 companies and then we split the rest. Me and you did. I think it was $750 because we paid $500 a piece, I think, on that one because it was bad. It was nasty. But we hired Brandon from Lionheart and we hired Jose and the machine from DTX Junkaholics.
Yes, we did pay out. Yeah, we paid out like $300, but there was some other kind of expense that I forgot.
I don't know, but
something. But we did good on that.
Yeah, it was for my first one. Yeah, it was good, and we were done in 2 hours.
We were done in 2 fucking hours.
And the reason why is because of the people you hired.
Yeah, and here's another thing. When it happened to Jamon, this happened to Jamon also. Jamon calls me. He says, Ricardo, could you help me out with this eviction in Salina, Texas? I'm like, okay, Jamon, how much are you making? He said, $5,000. I said, I'm going to spend about $1,500 of that money. I need 1,000 myself. Jamon, you eat 35. And he goes, well, are you sure? I said, Jamon, he goes, well, it's going to take 2 days. I said, Jamon, it's not going to take 2 days. It's going to take 1 day. It's going to take about 4 hours. Bro, I get on the call. I said, but I'm in charge. You make it 35. I'm going to make my 1,000 and everybody else will make $500. See how I'm doing it? I'm doing it in my head. I said, I called GPTX. I called Orson. I called the machine was out there. Maddie was out there. And who else was out there? I want to say Brandon was out there. Brandon came out there. I don't know who came out, but they came out too. And bro, did I have TNT out there? I'm trying to think. I just had 5 guys out there. We show up. We attack this fucking house, bro. We clean this bitch in like an hour and 30, 40 minutes, something like. We're cleaning it up. Boom, 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 boom. I said, we're done, dude. We put everything out on the curb. He's like, fuck. But I took charge of the situation because Jamon's not a big talker. I said, y'all 3 wait by the stairs. Y'all 2 clean up this room. Orson take care of the back room. Y'all take care of the front room. We're done. But we kicked Clinton. Clinton was there. That's right. Clinton was there. That's right. Yeah. And we knocked that shit out. And we just worked. Everybody worked one room. You know what I mean? So it was really easy. And everybody got paid their $100. Everybody laughed. And we're all done. And then, you know.
Jamon, but that's because you hired quality guys. They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. You don't ever want to hire Mexicans from Home Depot. They're hard workers, but they don't know what they're doing.
It's crazy because removing trash sounds so simple, but there really is like a technique to it.
Yeah.
It sounds so dumb, but there really is. There really is a technique to
There's a technique to it. Yeah. 100% there's a technique to it. And it was an easy job for us. I made my $1,000. He got 35, and then the rest of the people made $500. But you contract me, bro, I'm going to charge your ass.
Oh, yeah. So Alex Robinson actually asked, how do you figure out how to split those jobs and stuff like that? So you have a really good technique to that.
Yeah, so I have a technique. First of all, the first thing you have to do on something like that is overestimate the job. Hopefully you just get the job, but you got to put some room in there. Now, we have a DFW commitment to each other. Brandon, Clinton, Maddie, Orson, James. Well, James, I don't want to talk about James. He hasn't helped us out yet, but there's other companies, right, that know that you're about to work hard. Okay, you're going to work hard, but you're going to get paid at the end good. Okay, decent, but at least you're working. So when I make this commitment to them and they commit and Orson commits to me, he knows that he's going to work. He's going to make okay money, but he's going to work with me. And this is going to bring jobs down the line.
Consistently.
Like, for instance, if I get a job in Aubrey, I'm probably sending it to Brandon, or Brandon works. You see what I mean? And I'm not. Orson did a job for me the other day. He did a fridge. That's it. He didn't pay me nothing. We don't do that. He goes and does a job. He does the money. Okay. James has been working for me lately. He does the money. I ask him for a favor. He's never there for me. I will tell you that right now. Okay. But that's how it works between us. So hypothetically, let's say the $5,000 job, it was my job. Let's say it's my job. Okay. It's a house. It's in Salina, Texas. I get the job for $5,000. I call up the 5 best companies that will work for me. Okay. I'm going to pay each one of those companies $100 the first day just for working. Then out of those workers, I'm going to see who will haul off the junk the next day because it's an eviction or whatever it is, right? I'm going to see, and I know in my head already what it's going to take because I saw the house already. So it's going to take 3 loads. Out of those 5 guys, I'll pick out the 3 ones with the biggest trailer because I already did that average. Orson, GPTX sometimes, and that's how I'll average it out. And I pay those guys $400 because I'm taking a truckload. That's how it works. So let's say I paid, let's say the 5 people, 3 of them. That's how much is that? 3 times 4, $1,200 plus $200. That's $1,400 out of the $5,000, and everybody's happy. But down the line, you're going to get jobs from me just because you came to help me out. I don't forget that shit. I always remember that shit. Always. You know what I mean? I'll always send you a job and say, here you go. Here's something for you. Here you go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I talked to you about this one. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. You know what I mean? Easier said than done. Easier said than done. Yeah. But that's how it works. That's how the payment works. So you think $1,200 doesn't hurt me? It does hurt me. Coming out of my pocket, it hurts. But they helped me do the job. And guess how many times I had to pull my trailer? I didn't have to. I got the job, which is the hardest part of the business. Getting the job is the hardest part of the business. That's the hardest part. You got another question? Or you good?
That one was from Alex Robinson. I'm guessing we answered it. He hasn't asked. Yeah, I think it works out great. And then also, it's kind of more to add more to that question. So, say when I asked you to help me with that hoarder house, I could not have done that on my own. It wasn't going to work out. So whenever I brought you in,
that was a dump. That fucking place was a dump. They live like animals. I did tell Orson this. I told Orson this because he said $1,500. I said, don't charge. We charged 25, I think.
We charged 20. I wanted to charge more.
Yeah,
but you told me they told us that they found someone for $1,500.
And I told him I'll do it for $2,000, but I'm in charge. I told Orson, leave me in charge. You make half, I make the other half.
Exactly. Yep. And that's how we split it 50-50.
He was happy. I was happy. Listen, he was going to lose the job. I was going to get us the job. So let me get the job. I told Orson when in the house, don't talk. Please don't talk. Remember that, Orson, outside?
Yep. And then I started talking.
And then he started talking. I was like, I'm going to kick him in the fucking head. So we drove off. Remember we drove off and she called you, right?
Yeah. You were like, there's no way we're going to get it. That was a waste of time, whatever. Yeah. And I was like, no, we're going to get it. We're going to get it. We're going to get it. And sure enough, we got it.
And I said, okay. And then that's when we did our split. I said, okay, you get 8, I get 8, and then we'll pay the rest of the employees. And Lionheart was, well, we paid, that's what we did. We paid Lionheart his trailer load, bro. It was $2,000, bro. And then we did make $750 each. And then remember, what's the name didn't take a load, or did he?
Yeah, they did. Lionheart took a load and DTX took a load. And so that was like
charged the lady like 25, bro. I'm telling you.
We charged her 25. And then we paid out 1,000. And we split 1,500.
That's it.
So I got 750. You got 750.
Yeah, that's right. And you know what? I was happy. DTX.
Everybody was happy. Everybody won that day, including the customer. And Brandon brings up a good point. This is how we don't have employees.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because another thing, whenever you hire someone, that they're just working for a paycheck. They don't care. But what we're doing, hiring other companies, they're working on their company. They're going to give us the absolute A+ effort. Whereas an employee, they just clock in and clock out.
Yeah, and another thing, it's about reputation with us.
Yeah.
It's about reputation. Brandon, A1.
Yeah, I love Brandon. Yeah, he's great.
Will show and bust his ass. They will show him. But Orson, you hire Orson, you're gonna get A quality. You start Clinton, bro. He's
dude. He's even when he was injured. Remember, dude, that dude was going crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Clinton is a hard worker. He's a hard worker.
Lion
Maddie, your son, he's awesome.
Yeah. We work with quality people, like Randy.
Oh man. All right, guys. On that note, you got any more questions? Or?
Yeah, just one last one.
All right.
How do you see your opportunities for your business on social media? How do you use social media for your business?
So I'm not gonna lie. Social media is definitely not my strength. It's just not, but I'm trying because it makes such a big difference, you guys. So, I feel like it's hard to get jobs off of social media. However, when people look up your company, they're going to see all of those videos. They're going to see all of those posts, and they're going to be able to relate to you. They're going to see what you're doing, And I think that is what is so, so important. So, I get discouraged because I'm like, I've posted on Facebook every single day for like 2 weeks. I haven't gotten crap. But in reality, they're looking up your website, and if they want to dig into you a little more, they're going to see all of those posts. And they're going to be like, oh, that guy does know what he's doing. Look, I'm hiring him to remove a fridge. This is how he removes that fridge. And I think that it does work. And then in other businesses, like the haunted house, for example, social media got out so many people, maybe even more than Google. So it's like, it matters. Social media does matter. Whether you believe that or not, it makes a difference because they're going to see how you're working. They're going to get that. What did they call it? That proof, that social proof or something like that? What is that word?
It's called
you build your social proof? No, there's a term for it.
Engagement, social.
There's a term for it.
There is a term for it. I heard it the other day again.
Yeah, me too. Does anyone in the comments know
what that is? Social. It's called social. Whenever you're on social media and you post all the time.
I think it might be social proof.
Is it social proof? Social footprint? I don't know what it is.
No, but yeah, that thing where people see that you're a real person, a real company.
Look at the lady who ran the background check. She checked everything.
Yeah. Whereas when you hire a company, say like Load Up, for example, all their stuff is Chat GPT. They don't know who's showing up. They don't know who's doing it. So they might not hire you. Social media plays a big, big difference. And I'm going to do better to do that in 2025.
So if you so I showed up for a Load Up job one time. Did I tell you? They didn't tell me. They didn't tell me who they were. I went to North Lake and I removed a mattress for $120, just one mattress, single. I'm like, this is way too expensive. Guy called me. I called him back and said, hey, dude, I removed your mattress. He goes, hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Didn't ask for any money or nothing. I loaded up and left. And when I'm talking to the lady, she says, oh, they charged me a $60 cancellation fee. I said, what?
Wow.
Yeah. And I said, well, I got the job from some dude. He goes, oh, that's the guy. So they hired you to do a job for me. And they made money off the cancellation fee. I was like, damn, I'm never going to talk to him again.
Damn.
I'm never going to talk to this fucker again. And he called me once for another job. And I just like, dude, I know who you are, blah, blah, blah. Isn't that crazy, dude?
Crazy.
Anyway.
Right, thank you so much for having me on, dude. This
definitely, dude. Do you want to say one last comment to the entrepreneurs that are out there? I want you to explain to them that junk removal is not a fly-by-day business, that it could be a career. Proof Social. It's called Proof Social. That's what it is.
Social proof.
Yeah, social proof. Proof Social. Well, we got a question really fast. You want to answer it?
Yeah, what do we got? Let's see.
Robinson asked, what software do you use to keep track of all your subcontracting deals?
So I really Google Calendar, dude. That's it. Just Google. I mean, Google Calendar is awesome because when you send me a job, for example, you might send it to me 2-3 days in advance, right? 30 minutes before that job starts, it's going to give you a notification on your phone. Hey, get your ass to XYZ location. It reminds you. And then it's also cool because you have a search feature on there. I can look up the address. I can look up who sent it to me, all that stuff. Like, it's so cool. And then I have it on my phone. I got it on my computer. I got it on my iPad. It's everywhere. You just sign in with Google. I lose my phone. I just log into Google. You know, it's great. It works everywhere. And the best part is it's free. Free 99.
Free 99.
So I do that. I have a Google sheet, you know, with all my expenses, stuff like that. And it works. Google. Absolutely. Why compete with the best?
Yeah, why compete
with the best?
So like I was saying, if you want to say one last thing to the new entrepreneur coming into this business, what it really takes to run this business and to stay in this business consistently, what would that be, man?
You know, don't complicate it. And the most important part too is just stay consistent. You know, every day, there's going to be days when you get busy and you're going to think you don't have to post anymore. You don't have to do anything. So stay consistent with it. And as long as you do that and you put in the effort, you're gonna succeed. Junk removal, we're just picking up trash. It doesn't sound like a very lucrative business, but there's people out there who become millionaires out of it. You know, I mean, this is a career, you guys. This is a real job, a real career, and it's a stepping stone into greater things like a haunted house.
Oh yeah, damn good stepping stone. Damn good
stepping stone.
Nice. Thank you, Orson, again for being on the channel.
Thank you.
I decided to call you because it was snowing outside. It's got 4 inches out there, and I said, called Orson. He was sport. He's like, let me fix my. Nah, hell no, I'm not fixing my hair. I said, go put on a t-shirt. He didn't want to put on his t-shirt.
Yeah, I got my GPTX.
GPTX t-shirt and got on there. So thank you so much, bro, for jumping on it.
Yeah, this has been awesome. I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, we'll shoot the shit later on, guys. Thanks for staying tuned to my channel. Listen, guys, subscribe. Hit the like button or all that other crap, and check out my videos. And to all the haters who hate, boom, keep on hating, man. I appreciate the love out there. All right, guys, talk to y'all later. Have a great day, and hopefully y'all are working, because me and Orson, we're just sitting at home chilling.
We're chilling.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.